So a year ago, I decided to buy a motorcycle, and I bought this 2019 Harley Davidson Heritage after 30 years away from motorcycling, knowing that I had nobody to ride it with. No crew, no friends that ride, no one I can call up on a weekend and say, hey, you want to go for a ride? No one. And that would have actually been a mistake if I didn't have a plan, because I knew if I didn't build something around this bike from day one, it would end up where a lot of bikes end up from people who come back to riding. In the garage, under a cover, wondering why you own it, you're not getting enough use of it, and maybe it's time to sell it. So if you're in that dilemma and you're wondering how you should go about finding people to ride with, come on this journey with me as I talk to you about what I actually did and what worked for me. So when I bought my bike, I obviously had concerns about what are you going to do with this bike when you get it? That was a big concern, because I know it's pretty easy to buy something, you love it, you ride it a couple of times, before you know it, the novelty's worn off and you're like, what the hell am I doing with this bike? I've spent $20,000 and it's just sitting in the garage not doing anything. And I didn't want that to be me. So I had to have a plan. And that's why I started a YouTube channel to document my journey. And the thing is, with a YouTube channel, you've got to do regular content. So that made sure that I had to ride every week. I had to have something to talk about. And it gave me a purpose to use the bike every week, which was good. And now it's a year later and it's basically created some forced accountability. So a year on in, I have this cool bike. I'm using it every weekend, unless it's raining. And I've gone on some of the best rides I've ever done in my life. So if you have a bike that's sitting in the garage, so you might want to ask yourself, what can I do to give myself some purpose to get on my bike and ride it? Okay, so let's talk solo riding. Solo riding is great. It has its place. And I know a lot of people like solo riding. For me, solo riding is not that much fun because I spent a lot of time on my own already. I work at home on my own. My kids generally do what they want. They're old enough now, so I spend a lot of time on my own. So for me, solo riding is not the reason why I bought a Harley Davidson. I bought a motorcycle so I could go out, get out of the house and actually meet people in the area and socialize. So I've lived in Brisbane for about 10 years now and I don't know that many people because I'm generally a solo person, and I wanted the motorcycle to give me an opportunity to change that and give me an opportunity to meet new people. So I appreciate that a lot of people like solo riding, and I know that a lot of people see that as the only option for them, and that is fantastic if that's what works for you. But for me, it was always about meeting other people and socializing. Okay, so once I got on the bike and I was comfortable with it, and I started thinking, how am I going to meet other people? How am I going to meet other riders? So I did a training course, there's a video on that, and everyone there was great, all different forms of bikes. But I knew that Harley Davidson has the Harley Owners Group. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what it was, how it worked, none of that. But I knew it was something I was definitely going to try. I did try to join some online groups, just like Southeast Queensland riders, and this is through Facebook, and I saw a couple of videos get posted about, Harley jokes, Harley rider jokes, who can't ride, typical Harley rider, that kind of garbage. It's basically made me feel excluded, so I left that group. Thought, okay, so it seems the next logical thing would be try the Harley Owners Group. Now, fortunately, when I did go to the Harley Owners Group meeting, everyone was friendly. I have a Harley Davidson. Everyone there has a Harley Davidson, and therefore it works. It creates a community of like-minded riders. We're all in the same community, and they were very welcoming. They also did rides. I didn't have to think about where am I going to go, so that made going on rides really easy, and all you had to do is show up once a month when they have their meetings. Now the beauty is they also have social gatherings that don't involve the bikes. They're gonna have camping trips and boat rides, all those kind of things. So they're actually establishing a community. And that's something that I've been involved in with now for a few months. And with those guys, it has been some of the best riding I've done and has been the most fun. So for me, that's worked out. And while I don't think you have to join a hog group or a hog chapter, I do think there's a lot of enjoyment that can be had from joining a group of like-minded motorcyclists. Now I know there can be some negativity about joining groups. I've seen that in the comments. Some people are just opposed to riding in groups, and that's okay. Personal choice, and I get that. If you don't want to join a group, that's fine, don't join one. But if you do want to find a group, you also need to be open-minded. You need to be open-minded enough to go into the group, say hello, and actually put some effort. It's actually not a lot of effort. If you just say hello, introduce yourself, you'll find people are very welcoming. Now, the key thing that makes it work is you've got to be consistent. The first meetings that I went to with the Harley owners group, while they were still very friendly and very welcoming, after 2 or 3 meetings, you start to see some familiar faces. People know who you are, and you start to build some friendships. So it's that consistency and effort of showing up and being there that makes all the difference. Now, if you don't put in that effort, then guess what's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing will change. You have to make an effort to make a difference. You have to put in some effort to create something that you want to happen. And from the meetings I've been to, I've actually now formed some friends. They have my number, we message each other, we ask how you're going. And I'm sure the future is also, let's go for a coffee on a Sunday, even if it's not a Hog Chapter ride, which are amazing and have been amazing. So you've got to put in the effort if you want things to change. If you want to find some riding friends, you've got to put in some effort. It's not even a lot of effort. You just have to show up and try a little bit. And before you know it, you'll have a group of friends to ride with. And you'll wonder why you didn't do this sooner. Now, the other interesting thing that happens when you do a YouTube channel is people reach out to you and say, hey, you live in the area. They recognize the roads that you're riding on. And they ask, hey, I'd love to go for a ride with you. So there's another opportunity. If you start a channel, you can find other riders in your area who just want to come along for a ride. Now, I haven't actually done that yet. I did reach out and ask if anyone would be interested, and I did have some positive responses. So that's another opportunity, is that if you create a community, you can find people in your area to ride with. Now, how good is that? So from that, I've already met a few people as well. Most of those have come to the Hog Chapters or were already part of a Hog Chapter. And I got to meet them in person, which is weird, but also very cool. It seems strange that you can create videos and make friends online and meet someone in real life who knows you and you don't actually know them yet. It's just bizarre, but also very cool. Now, I've just got back from a ride from Brisbane to Tamworth and back, which we did 1,600 kilometers in 2 days, riding with the Harley owners group. And because I have met some of these people before from previous meetings, we had a great old time stopping along the way, but also talking about the experience of trying to ride 12-hour days on a Harley Davidson. Now, that was some of the best riding that I've experienced in the last 12 months. And it just goes to show that with a bit of effort, I went from sitting in my garage wondering who I'm going to ride with. And now I have this whole new family of friends who accept me and want to have fun riding together. And it's a fantastic experience. So owning a motorcycle has been an amazing experience, going from what am I going to do with it to riding 1,600 kilometers over 2 days. Now, a year ago, I had no idea that that was even going to be a thing, or I couldn't even envision that in my mind. So take up the challenge, go and find some riding buddies, whether it's a Hog Chapter, but if you're not a Harley rider, it doesn't matter. Find a social group that aligns with your type of riding and go out there and ride, make friends, have great experiences, and live your best life. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to get back on my bike and head home. Stay safe. I'll see you on the next video.